Hey guys, what's up? It's Deja again. I mean, you know, Deja does everything, okay?
Fuck that man. Why that man?
So like I've been noticing everybody's starting to talk more about their paranormal stories or tell their little ghost stories and stuff. It's nowhere near Halloween, so I can't be like, so I'm gonna tell you my scary story. No, it's nowhere near Halloween, so I can't say that. Seeing everybody talk about it really made me want to talk about my paranormal experience. And like every time somebody asks me about ghosts and stuff, I always bring up this one story, this one house, and like I don't even know if I want to talk about it. Like, it's just scary. Get your hater blockers on, let's put up our crosses and get ready to hear this story. So we had just moved out of our house. It was one story. It was on Greenhedge Avenue, and we had moved to a better house in my cousin's neighborhood, Zale. It was off of Knight. The house was like really nice. It had a huge backyard, perfect for my dog Pepsi. We lived in the cul-de-sac and we had friends around there, Antoine and Ruben. I remember their names like perfectly. Yeah, like we had friends and everything. Now, when we first moved in, it wasn't anything like, oh my god, this house is so scary. It was more like something's weird about this house type of feeling. I was really young. Not really young, but I was young. I would say like 8-ish. No, I don't think I was 8, probably 10. Throughout the house, it was very nice, and we looked around, and I happened to find a closet. Have you ever seen the movie Coraline? If you have not seen the movie Coraline, go look up the closet that Coraline went in. You know what? I'll put a picture in here. This is the kind of closet that was in the house under the stairs. My aunt was like, oh, Harry Potter. I guess Harry Potter lived under some stairs or something. I never seen the movie, so I don't know. I was just like, oh, a nice place to, you know, stay by myself if I wanted everyone to get away from my family, you know? So let's fast forward to when all the scary stuff started happening. I would say like a year later, kinda, I guess. I don't really remember the time like that. The first really scary no, wait, I do remember the time. I remember the time. This just rung a bell. Hold on. Okay, so it was like 3 weeks after we moved into the house. Cause I remember we were showing my cousins around the house, and this is where I noticed something like was going on. So my little sister Jada, she's like 13 now. She was really young then. She was like, I don't know, not a toddler, but a little bit over a toddler, to the point where she could talk, but her voice was still squeaky. We would show them around the house, and she would always talk about these imaginary friends, and I remember the names and everything. It was Tuzu, Afa, and Alicia. When I tell you it was so scary, like when we were showing them around the house, she would be like, yeah, Tuzu's over there, Afa's over there. At first I thought she was joking. I'm like, okay, she's trying to scare us because we just got into this house, whatever, you know. And things started escalating. Like, she would legit make these characters on the Wii, like, you know where you can make the Me people. She legit made these characters, like what they look like, because I was like, okay, you know what, if they're real, show me what they look like then. What really freaked me out is it was one that didn't like me. That's the least scariest part of this whole house. I guess I'm gonna build up. So this is another small thing that had happened. I remember my dad used to work night shifts, and it would just be me and my mom at the house. And at the time, Jada, I don't know where she was, but she wasn't home. I remember me and my mom, we was in her closet. It was a walk-in closet, and I remember this like it was yesterday, because we had just got Pepsi, right? And so she was like, well, what are we gonna name the dog, blah blah blah. And we were just naming names and stuff. We was naming names. We heard like this noise. It was like, I don't know, kind of like a babyish sound, I would say. My mom was like, was that you? I was like, no. She was like, stop playing, that was you. And I was like, no, it was not. That was not me. That was not me. Like, to this day, she'll be like, now I don't remember that. But I know she remembers it. Like, she keeps trying to say that it was me when it was not me. In my room, I would hear stuff like walking, like on the roof. But my mom would be like, it's just squirrels. It wasn't squirrels, bro. I'm telling you, it was not squirrels. I remember being in the movie room alone, and like, I heard people talking. Like, I heard talking. Woo, and chill. Okay, so this is one of the bigger, scariest things that had happened in that house. We had all left the house that day. I had went to my grandma's house, Jada went to our grandma's house, my dad and mom went to work. Like I mentioned before, my dog Pepsi, she lived with us, of course, duh. She was an inside dog most of the time. She would run around outside sometimes, but she stayed in the house. So when we left, of course, we kept her locked up. So the type of cage that we had for her wasn't like a cage, like a gated cage. It was like a kind of a roomy cage, and you could zip it to the top to where the dog couldn't mess with it to unlock the cage. I'm gonna show y'all a picture of what the cage looked like right here. That was the cage. We know for a fact that we zipped it up to the top to the top of the thing. We came home, it was poop all over the floor, stuff was messed up. The dog had been out the cage, bro. But check this. There's no way she could have got out because when we looked at the cage, it was zipped up to the very top again. Ooh. My mom, at first, I don't know, she said something. She made up some excuse about it, and I was just like, okay, whatever. But then after we moved, she told me like she don't know how that happened. Like, lastly, this is the last final big thing that happened. It was move out day. We were moving out of the house. I don't even know if I want to talk about this part. It's so scary. Like, I cannot. We have to go back and get the last little bit of stuff, the rest of my stuff, animals and stuff. So while my dad was upstairs getting the rest of the stuff from his room, I was downstairs in the living room. It was just weird. Like, I had this really cold feeling, and it was a feeling like that you just know something is there. Like, I legit could feel eyes on me, but nobody was there. I mean, you know, my dad was upstairs. I'm waiting for my dad to come down the steps. Next thing you know, he's like, okay, come on, let's go, let's go. He didn't even have nothing in his hands. I'm like, he basically left my stuffed animals in the room. I'm like, okay, whatever. I guess he don't want to take them. Oh well. So a little bit later, he told my mom that he left the rest of the stuff because when he looked up at the stairs, he seen a huge shadow, like a huge shadow standing. Because our stairs was like stairs, and then it was like a thing right there which you could look over to see people going down the stairs. He had left the stuffed animals at the top of the stairs, and he said he seen like a huge shadow standing above the stairs, and like we were out, bro. Like, that house was really scary. And the imaginary friends thing, it didn't stop there. It did not stop at that house. My sisters had her imaginary friend until we went to our next house. But then it just lowered down to one, and it was Alicia. Jada would sometimes act like she was Alicia when, I don't know, it was scary. I remember my cousin Shalasia, her and Jada was arguing, and then out of nowhere, Jada was like, I'm Alicia. So we had like this toy vacuum cleaner, and Jada would always cry. Like, if you hit her like this, she would cry, and, like, go snitch. Shalasia took the vacuum cleaner, she like hit her like that, like really hard, and she didn't cry. She was just like doing this little creepy look on her face, saying she was Alicia. That house really tops the charts. So like, I don't think anything else that has happened to me from sleep paralysis is like tops that. That was really scary. That was it. That's my little haunted house story that I cannot get over. That thing was scary. I would not go back to that house. You cannot pay me to go back to that house. I'm gonna make a video talking about my other scary story that had happened in my other house. It was more like a dream story thing. It's like, it's really scary. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs up. And if you really liked it, then comment down below. And don't forget to subscribe. You know me, Deja does everything. I'm out.